All right, let's discuss once you get your tape. Here's what you're going to find most likely, unless you really absolutely need us to help you find the values on these. We don't try to coach you on what these homes are worth. These homes are worth what the market says it's worth, and therefore we're not going to be paying for BPOs on every single house to find out an accurate today's value worth on that BPO. So what you're going to get from us is pretty simple. You're going to get a simple list: address, city, state, and zip code. I would suggest doing this. Go in, do your own comps. One of the ways that we do this, I'll show you in just a second, is we use a RealQuest to pull up an AVM model, which essentially is a little broader version of a comp and goes back a little further in date. But it's a generally fairly accurate way to get information on what that property is worth. We use I think that RealQuest thing uses First American Title's database, so it's more accurate than something like Zillow, which kind of relies on the shoddy public record system, which is not all that great even at its best. So let's take a quick look at comps here. What we're looking at right now is RealQuest beta. It's very similar to Zillow, I guess you would say. What we're looking at here, I just typed in the address from this very first property, or maybe it's not very first here. Where is it? Here we go, number 10. I just randomly pulled one out of the list. So number 10 here's 5256 Latigo Street. So now we're going to go up and take a look at RealQuest. I typed in the same information up at the top, hit search, and it comes back with an assumed value of 148. Now this is an AVM, this is not a BPO. If you want accurate BPO values, you're probably best to get an agent or a broker in there to take a look at this and give you an accurate sale value of that home. So we've got 148 is the value here. Down below we have comps that have sold. We got 115. There's one in there for 70, 78, 90. So they're kind of in that neighborhood, in that ballpark there. And there's some other ones up here: 279, 202, 173, 195, 190. So you can see that these homes are worth, some of these homes in the areas are selling for a considerably higher value. So that's something to keep in mind. This AVM is not perfect. I believe it goes out half a mile or 3/4 of a mile and goes back 6 months for comps. So it's a little less accurate. Now I'm going to show you what I'm pulling up here in my actual personal First American Title account, where I can actually go in and look at the real comps. And it's telling us sales price is 125, 458. There's quite a few comps in this area that support those values. We're going back the beginning of this month, half a mile away. We've got some higher priced homes. Closer value homes, the area is a little softer. So something to keep in mind here, it is kind of a block by block type thing. It looks like here this might even be one subdevelopment versus another one. So keep that in mind when you're doing your comps here. You're seeing what the lowest sales price in that area was. You're seeing what the highest sales price in that immediate area was, 3/4 of a mile. We go all the way down here to half a mile, and we're starting to see 205. So keep that in mind when you're doing your comps. What we're going to be doing on these tapes is this: you see a price, you put your highest and best offer in here. And here's why. 6-8 months ago, these bulk tapes were selling for whatever the heck we could get for them. Basically, the banks were getting rid of as many properties as they could because of liquidity issues, because the Fed was basically looking to take over banks that were not hitting the guidelines. So essentially what you're going to have to do is make your highest and best, and here's the reason why. Most properties you're going to find nowadays that are REOs are going to have multiple offers on them. There's nothing we can do to get around that unless you're dealing up along the the New York trading desk range of big packages. You're not going to find tapes that are just floating around nowadays, unless it's a private seller, which there's fewer and fewer of these. Hot properties like Nevada and California, you're going to be getting them from the banks, and the banks are now using the MLS to compete. So make your highest and best offer. Assume that property only needs basic carpet and paint. Go ahead and put an offer in, and I don't know if that's 70 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar, whatever you feel is your highest and best is what gets submitted to the bank. So if there is any other wiggle room, we will make something work for you. But make your highest and best offer on each of these properties, do your due diligence, and then submit the offer just by saying I will offer $250,000 or whatever it may be, and we'll submit that. Alright, I will outline what happens after the tape is submitted in another video. Thanks again.